the Upshot, Multi-World Disc Golf's podcast about the latest in the disc golf world. I'm the editor, Charlie Eisenhood. Joining me is Josh Mansfield on this Wednesday, September 3rd. It's back to school season. It's the fall. The weather immediately turned beautiful here in New York. Life is good. This is one of my favorite times of year to play disc golf, Josh. The heat is off the table, but you still get pretty late sunsets for a while. It's awesome.
It's so nice. Definitely the best time to play disc golf, without a doubt. You also don't have like wet springs, so like you're like trudging through mud either. It really is ideal conditions, and we get to play some of the most important tournaments of the season during these ideal conditions, which I always love that.
I mean, this is go time for the tour. Mm-hmm. Not only are the tournaments worth a lot of points for the players, the purses are fat. They're also just some of the best tournaments on tour. So we kick things off with DGLO, and then we've got GMC MVP after a 1 week break. Those go back to back. Then we get a little break into USDGC and the Tour Championship. So we basically have a month and a half left of the tour, about 6 weeks of the tour left. It's crazy to believe that. We do have the match play event.
Yes.
Hornet's Nest in November. So we have that to look forward to as a little, pre-holiday snack.
It's so nice that that's like a couple weeks removed from the season. It's not in between events. It's perfect. I'm very excited about that.
Totally agree.
Good timing.
So we're going to get you ready for DGLO today. And, not for many of these tournaments, it feels like this year it's like, well, yep, same course, same stuff. You know what to expect. Lots of elevation change. So we'll get into all that in our second segment. But we're going to open up with something we haven't done in, it feels like, a couple of months. We're going to take some mail. And we can always like to get your emails. Send them to us, upshot@ultiworld.com, or easy to become a subscriber at discgolf.ultiworld.com/subscribe. And you can join the Discord and ask your questions right there. So, Josh, let's dig into the mailbag. What do we got first today?
Yeah. All right. First one I got from Zach. He sent in an excellent list about Idlewild, and there are just a couple that I wanted to highlight in terms of specifically a spectator experience. So Zach was on the ground. The first one, he says that the vendor village and Tournament Central were bigger and nicer than ever. They had the giant screen, which is almost feeling like it's a staple right now at DGN or Disc Golf Pro Tour events to have DGN on a big screen for everybody. It's very nice, especially if you're not VIP and can't get to everywhere on the course. You can go back, sit down, enjoy some food, and watch the big screen. So this is feeling like a must-have for basically every tournament to me at this point.
I agree.
6 food trucks, lots of vendors, autograph tent. So great there. More bathrooms than the past, adequate number of portalets, and then the trailer bathrooms with running water. So that's a nice feature that I think more tournaments could get. He talks about our jokes about DGPT crowd control with you walking out of the fairways at Eureka. But he said they did a nice job at Idlewild. That's been my experience in my most recent events as well, is that they're doing a nice job in terms of directing not VIPs away from VIP areas. But says that GA still has lots of great access and doesn't feel overly restrictive. I think that's a hard balance to strike, especially at a course like Idlewild. Lastly, and I love this point. This is the one that I like. This is the point that got you on the show, Zach. The value for the money of a DGPT event is basically unbeatable in sports. I paid $30, got to watch the highest level of my favorite sport for 10 hours straight, paid $10 for a fantastic pulled pork sandwich, $6 for 2 hot dogs. So all in on the day, $46, and I couldn't have had a better time watching Owen and Paul win.
Let me put it into context.
Can you get a beer for $46 at Madison Square Garden, Charlie?
Still yes, but maybe not soon. Yesterday, Josh, the reason this show is being recorded today is because yesterday I was at the U.S. Open.
Oh, cool.
I went to the quarters, the day session of the tennis.
Okay.
I watched Alcaraz just demolish Leheshka, who is a very good player, a top 20 player in the world, and he just demolished him. Alcaraz is built different. But so my tickets, Upper Deck Ash, $140, I think I paid a piece. Okay.
It's not as bad as I thought.
It could do a lot worse.
It could do a lot worse.
I could have maybe gotten them for like 120 if I'd booked a couple days earlier. It was like always the balance. Like, are they going to go down in price or are they going to go up? This case, they went up. I think day of you could still get tickets for like 180. But that's okay. That's tickets to get in. All right.
Okay. Yep.
I had I did not have a honey deuce, which is like the signature Grey Goose vodka cocktail, but I had a Paloma with whatever tequila brand is doing all their nonsense. Those were 22. I had 2. I had a chicken sandwich, which was 19. I had fries, which was 9 or 11. I don't remember. So lunch and 2 drinks for me and my wife, and I think it was like 150. Like
plus your tickets. So what?
And then the tickets on top.
You're in about $500.
I completely understand. Like U.S. Open is probably an extreme example.
Sure.
Because it's tennis, so they're all the brands there. It's like luxury goods everywhere, and so everything's luxury priced. And it's New York City, and it's a major in a massive sport that caters to wealthy people. So I get that. But like, it's not like those, like beers were 16. I feel like that's not out of step with what you pay at Major League Baseball stadiums. I mean, maybe you're getting 12 or 13, or like at a football game, but it's unquestionably amazing value to go to disc golf. And I got to watch tennis for 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I still totally think it's worth it, but that's my point. Like, the disc golf product, people complain about the cost of like going or the cost of a ticket or the cost of DGN. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's not bad. I for reference, right? I've been to Utah Mammoth games. Now Mammoth was the time hockey club. And paid like for top bowl seats was like $75 or $80. Like to go watch ECHL, which is like AA hockey, is $50. Like it's more.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
We can get. My dad is military, former military, so he gets discounts.
Okay.
So for Salt Lake's terrible. They actually just sold the team and they're moving. Their ECHL team is. They're going somewhere out east. But Salt Lake was terrible. And they never sold out. So you could get like pretty good seats for like $25. But Boise, the Idaho Steelheads are really good. And so they always sell out. And so it's like $50 for a good seat and to go watch the Idaho Steelheads. So no, disc golf is a phenomenal value relative to sports. Sports are getting very expensive and disc golf just does not feel that expensive still. Yeah. Unless you pay the $15,000 to have UC plan your trip to Finland for Worlds.
Hey,
they sold.
What more do you need to know?
They sold.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I went to a couple years ago. I went to a high A Coney Island baseball game. So like we're talking like the newest prospects, like high school kids and like college. The bottom of the depth chart in the Major League Baseball organizations.
Yep.
And it was $20, but it came with a hot dog and a hat, which like, that's fine, not bad.
Yeah.
But like you're watching like bad players.
Sure.
Like versus going to a pro tour event where you're literally watching the world's best disc golfers.
Exactly.
So you can pay often less than $20 to go.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's a great point. And I think that these events are really putting pressure on each other to get better. Mm-hmm. I mean, we heard what Nate Heinold had to say about like wanting to raise the purse in a time when like nobody would have blinked if he hadn't, because of like this competition aspect within the event like group themselves.
Yep.
And that's why like, considering that we had, Jeff just told us they're up 15% on ticket sales this year, and like things are stabilizing and we're not shedding, like the people who were going to quit from COVID have quit.
Yes.
That basically is
They're
done.
Gone. Yep.
We have now back to normal churn. and normal growth. And that means that we're going to start seeing the line go up and to the right again.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel we were just talking before the show, Josh, about how both of our mothers are like now watching disc golf, even if we are not involved in any way with the disc golf, the coverage or any of it.
Yep.
Because they have become invested in the storylines. And like, if you can get middle-aged women to care about watching your sport, like that is a massive thing that like you shouldn't ignore, like as a long-term trend as to what disc golf like spectatorship could be. And like, it's never going to be the NFL, folks, so we don't have to get crazy about it. But you know, could we have 5,000 people every week at Pro Tour stops? Absolutely.
100%. And just think about like just how sustainable the infrastructure, just running that tournament. If you could get 5,000 people at every Pro Tour event, I could feasibly see a world where tournament directors could even take some money home.
Yeah, absolutely. And that has to happen.
It has to.
And we want to encourage that, because it means that then, you know, you're going to see improved events, because there's a incentive for everybody to do well.
Yep. So it's great to hear. Thanks so much for sharing the story. I mean, anybody who, Zach, in addition to Zach, right? If you go to these events, please let us know how they are on the ground, right? We just are not on the ground as often, and so it's really helpful to hear these kind of reports. So keep them coming.
All right. Isaac says, is it true that DGPT Plus events are not only more points, but also the way that you drop points for them is different, similar to majors where they drop so many plus specific events? Yeah, that sentence is worded a little weird, but basically saying that you only get to drop some amount of the plus events. Anyway, that is a pretty big draw for most non-European players, I would think, because not only can they get more points as a whole, but it's a smaller chance to make those points matter. If this isn't true, I think it should be to ramp those up a little more. That is true, although it changes every year a little bit, and so like I never really focus on the details of that. But like there are more points available, and you have to keep more of them.
Yeah. So let me read what it says, and let me tell you the impact of this.
Okay. Perfect.
So I've got the 2025 like DGPT World Standings graphic up. We can put that up for the YouTube listeners. So what it says is a maximum of 3 DGPT events in Europe can count towards any single player's points. Max points calculated by assuming best finishes at all DGPT Plus events, plus 7 other DGPT events. Now, here's the important kicker, though. I don't think you actually technically have to keep Plus events. They used to require that.
But they are worth more points.
But they're worth more. I did some digging, and it took me a while to find a player who dropped a DGPT Plus event over a regular event. Paul Ulibarri is one of the few players I've been able to find who's DGPT, because even if you, like, for example, Zachary Nash, who's 2 spots below him in the Pro Tour standings, finished 76th at Open at Austin. That's still 9 points, which is better than a lot of like if you are like missing cash basically or finishing pretty poorly at a regular event.
Sure.
Yuli finished 91st at Open at Austin, which is only worth 5 points, and that was dropped above like an Idlewild finish or anything else. And so that one did get dropped. He's the only one I've been able to find. Now, I'm sure there are more. This is just from, searching. But that is the only one I was able to find who dropped Texas, who's like anywhere close to the conversation of the Pro Tour Championship. And so you can drop them. It's very, very, very rare that players do, because if you're playing poorly enough that you're not doing well at these events, then you probably either don't tour enough to drop events anyway, or you probably play at a similar level at other events, and then the extra points means that one is the one that you carry. All in all, though, Isaac's point is correct, that there is a big incentive for players to be at these events, especially bubble players.
Regular Pro Tour events are worth 150, plus events are worth 200. So like 33% more. And then playoffs are worth 250 and majors are worth 300. I'm finally happy with their point balance.
Me too. Yeah.
and it feels like it's reflective of like the importance of events.
Yep.
So, yeah, good point and good note. What's next, Josh?
Yeah. Next email comes from Shrey. This is in the Discord. So I guess not an email, but there are 4 people in the DGPT point rankings top 10 that have not won an Elite Series or a major event this year. What are the odds for each person that they can get it done by the end of the year? They are Ricky, Kyle, Kat, and Paige. Rather than even doing odds, let's do it this way, Charlie. I'm going to give you, I think there are 2 things that we should do. First, I think the over-under is probably a little bit obvious. I think the line should probably be half of a win between those 4. If I give you half of a win between those 4, do you take the over or the under?
First of all, is Paige Pierce really top 10 in the standings right now?
I will verify this.
Surprising if true, I have to say.
Paige Pierce is 10th.
How about that? Okay. So Ricky, Kyle, Kat Merch, Paige Pierce.
Yep.
I got to take the under.
I got to take the under too. Especially if you believe that Gannon can run the board, which if you don't believe it, then you're just not watching disc golf right now, right? Like Kyle, honestly, Kyle's got some of the best events. He's good at DGLO. He's great at USDGC. Like Kyle is probably the most likely out of this group.
Yeah, could win.
But up against Gannon, I don't like it. So here's the second exercise I think is more interesting. Sort the 4. Most likely to least likely to win an event.
Top, most likely Kyle.
Okay.
Then Kat Merch, then Ricky, then Paige. I think normally, like in a neutral decision out in the middle of nowhere, I would say Ricky was first, but he's dealing with some stuff right now.
Yeah, he's got that.
So I don't feel great about it, but he could get right, and obviously we know he's very capable of suddenly looking really awesome. He's done that before, post injury, or like weird, Lyme flare up stuff.
Right. I actually flip Kat and Kyle. Again,
you can Merch most likely.
I do. Yeah, I do. And my my honest reason is Gannon is just so good right now, right? I have an FPO division that's kind of a mess.
Do you think Gannon's going to sweep the rest of the season?
I think Gannon's going to probably win. So what? Where do we have? How many events? We got DGLO, we got MVP,
GMC,
we got GMC, USDGC,
and Tour Championship.
Pro Tour Championship.
That's
I think he wins at least 3. I think he wins at least 3.
That's not an unreasonable take. I think the over-under is probably 2.5, which is crazy to say.
and I would not be shocked by 4.
I think I'd take the over on 2.5, which makes me think maybe the over-under should be 3.5.
It might need to be. That's where I start being. I still think I take the under on the. Like if you had to give me a line at 3.5, I probably take the under. But I don't hate the over on it either.
I'm pretty sure I just saw the stat somewhere on the Pro Tour Insta.
Is this
the plus events?
That he's won all of them except 3rd at Open at Austin this year, or was it this?
What was the early plus this year?
Open at Austin.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It just didn't show in the title on the website. It doesn't say that, but So there's been 3: Open at Austin, Northwest Disc Golf Championship, which is Portland, and then Ledgestone. And so he won Northwest and Ledgestone, and he finished 3rd.
And he won all the plus events last year.
And he swept them last year famously. And what does it tell you, Josh?
It tells me that the best players rise at the top in 4-round events.
Thank you.
Gannon's the best player.
Thank you. If he closes out with 3 more wins, it's going to be as good as last season.
It is,
in my mind. And like we can look at the stats and we can break down the win counts and all this stuff, but like from a dominance perspective, sure, he started off a little slower than we maybe expected, but that's a couple of years now that he's done that. And then we get to these big tournaments where they have 4+ rounds, and we go to the majors, and he's amazing.
He's amazing. And MVP
and winning worlds is a big trump card for like covering up for maybe 2 fewer losses this season.
Exactly,
if that's what it comes down to.
MVP is the one that I think is least likely for him to win. He historically, I don't think he's won MVP, which is like for Gannon is historically bad. Like if it's an event that Gannon hasn't won, then that's his. I mean, he was third last year, but DGLO he won, GMC he won, could win both of those again. Did he win USDGC last year? I think he did.
I think so. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He won 22-24.
So I think it is totally reasonable for him to go DGLO, GMC, USDGC. I have a question about DGPT Championship. And then I have a question because he didn't play great at Worlds there. And so I'd like to, I want to see.
He should theoretically be able to destroy that course.
You would think.
He was making some bizarre mistakes.
He was. And I think it was the pressure of Worlds, which is why I think the line at 3.5 makes more sense. Because you give him, if you say he wins the same events he won last year, no reason he shouldn't do that. Then at that point, it's like, does he win and add the Pro Tour Championship, yay, nay, at Ivy? And then you don't even have to worry about MVP. Like, that makes it very difficult for me to put Kyle as the most likely guy to get a win. Because you're up against a juggernaut. At least Cat Merch has to go through the dog, but like after that, like the FPO division, I mean, Europeans are coming back, but it's still a little bit of a mess over there in FPO. And I think Cat could emerge from the chaos with a win.
Wild. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting end of the season.
It is.
I have a question for you. This is not exactly, it's sort of a mailbag question. It was asked in the mailbag channel, I believe.
Okay.
I want you to guess the percentage that was picked. So it was a poll. Will Idlewild be Paul McBeth's last career Elite Series and major win?
Okay.
That was the poll question.
Yeah.
What was the yes/no response, do you think?
I would say I really would feel like it would probably be like 60-40 no.
93% said no.
That's crazy.
So that's a good barometer of how people feel about Paul's game. And I agree. I'm on the no camp for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, what about Paul's game right now looks unsustainable or lucky?
Nothing.
Or he's been doing it all year.
Yeah.
He just has had like a bad round here and there and hasn't closed out. And now he looks completely locked in.
Yep.
He could win another tournament before the end of the year. Would you be shocked if he won at Maple Hill?
No.
Would you be shocked if he won at DGLO?
More so, yes.
The dude shot an 18 under.
You're right.
At DGLO.
You're right. He's got to go head to head with Gannon for 4 rounds. If Idlewild was 4 rounds, I don't think Paul wins. Gannon was cooking. That guy was coming. Like I think Gannon wins if Idlewild's 4 rounds. I think Gannon wins at DGLO because it's 4 rounds. So I would be more surprised about DGLO. Maple Hill though, man, I can just like hear Steve Dodge thinking about the promos that he'd run if Paul McBeth won Maple Hill again.
How many times has McBeth won at Maple Hill? Let's see if I can finagle this in, because it's had name changes and stuff. So I'm going to put Massachusetts as an NT. Okay, I have the numbers. It's 3 wins.
Okay.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 podiums. And so he finished. He didn't play it in 23 because of the injury. He was 2nd here last year, 3rd here in 2022. He won it back-to-back years in 2020 and 2019.
Okay.
I will not be shocked if he wins again.
Oh, no, me neither. I think that'd be the I think that would be the right, like it makes sense. It's a historic tournament. It suits Paul well. I really think he could win it again. I'm sure we'll have Steve Dodge on when we get closer to Maple Hill, but did you notice, I don't know if this was new and got changed or if this has always been there and I just didn't notice on the official registration. On the official registration, it's MVP Open X OTB.
So like in the title of the tournament.
Yeah.
It was that way last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it stood out to me.
OTB and MVP. They're buddies.
Well, I mean, OTB Open, like
That's
those
what I'm
MVP
saying.
discs,
absolutely.
they're fire.
I feel like they're like the preferred, MVP drop.
It's interesting to see that relationship like continue to develop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, DGLO preview and 30-second rule. Stay with us. The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. Well, if you can't get the colorway that you want, why not make your own colorway? Go check out the custom pack builders, available for all the bags that Pound makes. And you can just get in there and check it out on your own. You don't even have to commit to a purchase. You can just go play around, and it's super fun to design exactly the bag that you want with the colors, the zipper colors, the patches, everything customizable. And so you can get the bag of your dreams. And remember, this is a one-time purchase, folks. Pound guarantees their bags for life. You're never going to work with a better company or end up with a better bag on your back. We love them. You'll love them. PoundDiscGolf.com.
Haven't seen it, should. Now to our top story. America's game, disc golf. Number 2 ranked player in the world, Paul McBeth. Great Lakes Open on Saturday. Second hole, throwing uphill. Throws it past the basket on his second shot, then makes the eagle 3. McBeth, 3 under through 2. False face must hide what the false heart doth know. Third hole. After a solid drive on the 915-foot par 4, on McBeth's approach shot, he nearly throws it in from over 250 feet. He's 4 under through 3. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none. Fifth hole, McBeth from 60 feet. Got it! Fair is foul. Foul is fair. Hover through fog and filthy air.
You just wrote that.
He is feeling it. 10th hole, McBeth slips on the drive, didn't get the full turn he needed to climb the hill. With the strong slope, McBeth is going to smartly lay up his approach shot and will tap in for par. Only par the round. He's 10 under through 10. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done. 16th hole. Pressure mounting, 3 holes for perfection. Par 3, 16th through the tight gap. Taps in for birdie, 16 through 16.
Really
After
committed yourself.
birdie and 17, McBeth, 50 feet.
Oh.
Where shall we 3 meet again in thunder, lightning, or in rain? McBeth, winner.
The sights and sounds of McBeth's 18 down, forever captured in an ESPN Sports Center multi-minute package. As cool as it's ever going to get, I think, for disc golf anytime soon on the worldwide leader. Josh, what a moment that was. What a round that was. I think arguably the best round ever recorded.
Yeah. It's funny because you see other really spectacular rounds, like Ezra at the Monster Worlds, for example. And there has to be a recognition of like the difficulty difference that helps elevate some rounds, but the pressure of perfection adds a unique element, right? If Ezra misses that putt and goes 13 down instead of 14 down, nobody's like, oh, what could have been, right? If Paul misses a putt on 18 at DGLO and goes 17 instead of 18, that's a, oh man, what could have been moment, right? It's just different. It's different and it's special. And so, it's a great story. And I love that we get to pull back that package.
It was an awesome moment for sure. We kind of know what we're getting with Toboggan. By the way, this is also a little bit of a preview for Worlds.
Yes.
So we're going to have Toboggan for the 2026 World Championships, along with The second course, which we're not playing for this tournament, which I think is too bad. It would have been nice to go with kind of the full Worlds preview here,
like
with
they
2 and 2.
Like they did at European Open.
Like they tend to do most times, right? Like when we see these prior year tournaments happening.
It's also frustrating because this is the only Plus event that's played on one course, and I hate that.
Right. But toboggan, physical course, tons of elevation, probably the most notable like elevation change up and down course that we play on tour. That even though there are a lot of like tough circle 2 type putts that you have to kind of try to find because you're not going to be able to just park everything, this is still a course where, Owen Scoggins has won. So don't count out people who are more moderate power if they can make those long distance putts. Still amazing to think that Owen won here, and she's going to be right in the mix again, I think, considering the level that she's playing at right now.
I think so too. The downside for Owen, and we've got our preview from Justin, so thanks for that, Justin. The downside, according to the preview, is that the weather is supposed to be, the winds are supposed to be pretty high on Thursday and Friday. 20 to 30 mile an hour winds on Friday, for example.
Ooh.
That does not favor your long putters. That doesn't favor players like Owen, who have to flex shots to get her distance. Players like Silva, for example, who's going to be throwing a little more hyzer flips, might be a little more difficult in the wind. Just something to keep an eye on. I mean, they still can perform very well, and given how well they're playing relative to the division, it really still feels like you have to think about them in picks. But the wind is definitely going to complicate things in early rounds.
I really wonder how that's going to look and when the wind will be a factor. Like, will it be a factor for the women's rounds in the morning? Potentially not. Wind tends to pick up in the afternoon. So
great point.
Something to keep an eye on for sure. What stands out to you as primary storylines this weekend?
I have a cheeky one, but I'll come back to it. Primary storyline, got to be Gannon Burr. Gannon has to be looking at this as an opportunity to make a run. We were talking about it before, but this is another opportunity to put a just absolutely beautiful season together. And it starts here in a tournament that he very well and very comfortably could win. He was like 4 or 5 strokes ahead last season going into the final round. And so it's 5-shot lead over Ricky and Calvin. So he has to be just looking at this as a great opportunity to keep going strong. FPO, I think FPO is going to be this is going to be a big question about who looks good now that we put the Europeans and Americans back together. This tournament, I think, is going to inform a lot about who I feel like has the best chance at Player of the Year. And last time we said that, everyone fell apart. So sorry if I cursed us again, but that really does feel like the important thing we're watching here. So which FPO player is going to step up now that they're together again for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, Silva being back feels like kind of a notable thing. We haven't seen Silva on an elite event since Turku, which was just about a month ago. She won that, of course. She finished 6th at Worlds. She won the European Disc Golf Festival. So
one finished nationals on
one
that.
Finished nationals. So, if she picks up where she left off and comes out here and wins, then it's feeling like Silva's year. And we don't need to rehash the conversation we had last week, but she's been in pretty remarkable form. Hasn't finished outside the top 10 since Waco, and has only missed the top 5 3 times since then. So she's been just, all over the podium this season. And it feels like, we just haven't had a chance to watch her play. I'm wondering, has she played this tournament before? Because I don't feel like I remember her having played it, but no, she's not played it. So there you go. First time at DGLO. I do think the wind could be a factor. We've seen her have some troubles when it gets pretty headwindy. But, I feel like all she ever does is get better.
Yes.
So I have a lot of faith that she's going to keep playing well, and she's certainly going to be in my picks this week.
Yeah. Holland, is this her get right tournament?
Keep saying that, I feel like.
I know. She won this event last year. So it feels like if it should be anywhere, it should be here. But
Yeah.
Charlie, I did forget about one storyline that I think is important.
Here we go.
No. This is not the cheeky one.
Okay.
This is a continuation of my previous one. This is the last event that'll be counted towards Gannon Burr's ratings. And
For the next month.
For the next
update.
month's updates, yes. And whether or not he's able to break the record for highest rating ever. So that is, I think, a pretty important and notable storyline, and it's one that we know Gannon cares about. And so I wanted to see.
So yeah, what's he done? So Ledgestone Idlewild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just take a look at what he's averaged. They're different lengths, so like, I'm not going to try to do all of the math, but let's see. His event rating was 1069 at Ledgestone with 4 rounds, so that's very helpful. His event rating at Idlewild was 1060, so slightly below, but like, it's not hugely harmful.
And it's only 3 rounds.
So it's probably averaging to about 1064 through those 2 tournaments that aren't already on his list. So
let me give you
have a great weekend.
One more data point. Gannon shot a 1063 event rating last year here.
There you go. It's going to be close.
If he shoots a 1063, he might do it.
It's going to be close, but he's going to be hunting extra birdies. He won't be like laying
Cruising.
stuff up late, even if he's got a lead.
No,
because I think this is a big motivation for him right now.
I think this is a bigger motivation than winning. Like, if someone is close and he could like lay up, I think he would probably choose to run things to get the rating.
Mm-hmm. That is going to be something to watch. I'm going to be like scoping his round ratings every day.
I am too. All right, Charlie, you ready for my cheeky storyline?
Go.
We talked about Kyle Klein, chances of winning.
Sure.
I think we'll know really where his headspace is at if he walks out in an Eagle McMahon jersey on day 1. It's one of my favorite storylines.
I think you should just bring back the OG Eagle Discmania one.
Yeah. The one that Eagle
funny.
can't wear anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was good. All right, let's rip through these picks, and we're going to get to 30-second rule because we got to catch up on a little bit of news. Who starts this week? I think I do.
Sure. Go ahead. Which division do you want?
It's up to you though, because you got a big deficit to make up, and
my goodness.
I want to give you as much of an opportunity.
How far behind am I? I need to go look at this real quick.
It's not that much, but I don't think you're catching me, bud. All right, so I'll start in FPO. Give me Silva and give me Own.
Okay.
I just think these are, the 2 best players at this particular moment. Like, they are just playing great, and I as much as it seems like Own wouldn't be able to play well here, she obviously does. So that's pretty straightforward. I really wanted to pick Haley King, but she's not playing this week. So who do I want to take for my third? I think I will go Cat Merch.
Yeah. Finished 6th here last year.
Yep.
Plays well here. Yeah.
A couple of the players who finished ahead of her are not in the field, so.
Yeah. Oh, what to do? Okay, here's what I'm doing. I am taking Silva. I am not taking Own. I think, not because I don't think Own will finish well, but because I need points. And so I'm picking the one of the 2 that I think is going to win. And then I'm going to go for picks that I just need different picks than you, so I can't pick Own. I want Valerie Mondahano. She's playing really well right here. Finished in the top 10 last year. And I want Ella Hansen, who also is having a particularly good season. And with the distance here, I think could have a real advantage. Finished 10th here last year. And so even that would be enough to get me some points, but I'm really hoping for a little bit better finish this year.
Makes sense. Where are you going in MPO?
All right. MPO, got to take Gannon. Be silly not to. I do want Kyle Klein.
Okay.
Yes, I want Kyle Klein. I think he's
always played well here.
Yes, always played well here. And then I want Simon Lizotte to finish. Yes. Listen, I need points, man. I need points that you are not going to get. Simon also is a fan. The OB has tightened up in recent years, but Simon's always a fan of like courses that don't have substantial amounts of OB. And DGLO has been like this interesting, like they brought a little bit of OB, but it's also like cleared up a little bit as well in terms of like the rough. Finished 5th here last year. So I'm hoping for a good finish from Mr. Lizotte. A win for Mr. Lizotte this weekend. That'd be really nice. That'd be really nice. I want to say, Simon, if I pick you here and you win, we've got to be the pod that you come on. Like it has to.
He's always got his one pod.
Has to be us. It has to be us because I picked you. So
I respect it. All right, I'm going so boring. I'm sorry, Josh, and I'm not even trying to protect the lead. I just genuinely think it makes sense at this point of the season to pretty much pick the best players. I'm taking Gannon Buhr, Calvin Heimberg, and Paul McBeth. Could be my podium.
Yeah.
Could get a perfect podium.
Make sure to go watch.
I really thought about Isaac.
Chalk afterwards.
I know, and like I love to dig for the 5Xers and all that. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the right type of event for that.
Not the right type of event too. Yeah, they're good picks.
All right, let's get to 30-second rule, where we have 30 seconds to talk about each topic, and if we go over, it doesn't matter. I'll give you time extensions, Josh, if you need them.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
First up, we have a post from Vino Mäkelä on his Instagram. Says that he's going to be stepping away from the tour for a bit of time, but doesn't want to share any additional information at the time. I really hope that everything's okay. Vino's a great player, and it would be too bad if we were to, not get him back on tour. So hopefully it's just for the end of the season, and he's able to take care of whatever he needs to, and that we get to see him back. But well wishes are with Vino for sure.
Yeah, I think he's going through it a little bit. He's missed cash a few times.
Yeah, after starting really well too.
Yeah, he had a really good start to the season. A couple of bad finishes, but a couple of really good finishes. And then, since since July, 35th at PCS, 17th at Krokol, 93rd at the major in Estonia, 45th at Worlds, 11th at Turku. It's been a little bit of a struggle.
And when I say starting out, I mean, remember, he was like almost leader at Worlds before hole 16.
Right.
He was playing really well to begin at Worlds, and then almost misses cash.
Oh,
yeah.
Gosh. Yeah, that's tough.
And I think that happened again at maybe it was Turku, where he started out like in first after round 1 and then fell off. So yeah, Vino, I hope everything's going well. I hope it's just like a mental reset and nothing in his personal life.
What's next?
Okay. Well, Charlie. So I thought it was funny because Discraft was like in a little bit, like there were some posts about like the Mario discs that are being sold. They have the Power Up Buzz now at DGLO. Thanks to Nate Heinold, he hooked us up with the Mario Lunas. And so, but like there were some posts online about, oh my gosh, like, is this allowed? Like, is this copyright infringement? And, internet lawyers going at it, right? Whatever. So they're all talking and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Like I'm sure they don't want it. Like that's annoying, but it's not a big deal. And then Discraft releases these Rosie the Riveter Labor Day discs. And if you look
interesting
closely,
hand that Rosie has there.
Someone on Reddit said, didn't you know historically Rosie's always had 6 fingers?
I mean, just okay. So very obviously,
it's AI. It's AI art. Yeah, it's AI, and
people got pretty mad about this.
Yes, people got really mad about this. That it's something that, and I think it's particularly true in the art space right now that people are upset about the utilization of AI. But in my other job for like when I'm doing LSAT stuff, we talked about AI usages for things like helping prep for applications and stuff, to the extent that some universities allow it. And we got tons of comments about people that were just livid that we would even suggest that you should use it. And so people have really strong feelings about this right now. But the one that I think, if people are really divided on AI, like generative AI for writing purposes, about like that's pretty divided, both camps. AI for productivity also, like I use a lot of AI like productivity tools.
Yep.
People are generally more okay with, but I feel like if we did a poll, it'd be like 90% are like, oh yeah, AI art sucks. Right. Like this is one that I feel like most people are in more consensus about. And it's not good. It's not, people are not happy about this, especially because it's a Labor Day disc. Like that just makes it so much worse that you'd use AI to generate, like that you have an AI generated disc for Labor Day.
It's tough.
It's a tough
look. It is a tough look. And Bob Giulio came out and made a post, about like 5-minute long post, apologizing basically, saying that they didn't like just farm this out to AI, didn't really want to like name the specific designer that made these, but obviously that designer used AI.
Yes.
And so maybe some question marks about like, hey, don't do that again. This is more, I think, a learning experience for Discraft, but like, it gets a little lazy sometimes with the artwork, and using AI is like maximum laziness. And it's just sloppy and bad. It like looks bad. It's unpleasant. It's like, you ever read AI written text? It's similar. It gives you a creepy feeling. It's only going to become more obvious as people get used to, seeing the AI art and reading the AI text. Theoretically, AI is going to get better at it, but it has a lot of the same problems it did 2 years ago.
It does.
Like, I still can't get the fingers right. I don't really get that.
If you're an AI artist, like step number 1 should be, do the ears look right? Step number 2, how many fingers do they have? Like that. always. That's rookie move. That's the most embarrassing part about whoever did this. Like, you should know better to check that.
I'm gonna introduce this next one. Josh quoted on the DGPT Instagram.
I'm a shill now, guys.
So got the full quote post over on Insta saying, I think that this is, without a doubt in my mind, the best schedule that the Pro Tour has ever put together, and it's not even close. And some takes in the comments. Spacey says it might be the best it's ever been. It's still dog shit. Okay, all right. That seems a little harsh. Someone asked, who is Josh Mansfield? Josh, how do you feel about this usage?
It's I don't even care. I don't mind at all. Thanks for the free Upshot promo, I guess. Right? Like, my biggest thing, the one critique people had is like, it can't be the best without the monster or the beast on tour. Like, it's not possible, right? I think given the options that are available to them, the tournaments that are available, the work that they've done, I still stand by it.
I think it's fair to say that, like, we're missing some of the European courses that we'd like to have on tour.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's totally legitimate, but I think that the bigger picture point that you were trying to make is that the schedule flow makes the most sense, and we've eliminated a lot of the stuff that's unpleasant or that we haven't liked about the tour. I think that there's obviously room for improvement, but I think your take is actually good. That this is the best that we've seen, even if it still could be better.
Yeah. Oh, sure. And and could be better isn't even like a dig. Like, we'll always keep making improvements or things that we want to see. But I think they did a great job with it, and I have no problem being quoted on their social. Charlie, did you know? I don't know.
Sure, you can send the money to Josh via PayPal.
Charlie, did you see that we were quoted in the Jomez opener at Worlds?
I heard that, but I never actually saw it.
Yeah, you'll have to go.
What did we say?
I don't remember. Someone sent it to me, and they're like, "Oh, hey, like that's you guys." So
that's cool.
I think it was just about like the importance and the weight of Worlds, about it being the one that everyone wants to win.
Yeah, sure.
having a little, gravitas to it.
I'm happy with, if you need sound bites, folks, just email over PayPal to Upshot.
We're still waiting on our big money Missy royalties. That's the one that we really need to be cashing in on.
Now this is what Discraft really needs to apologize for.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got, Josh? I think we got one more.
Yeah, last one. Jeff Spring had talked a little bit about early bird tickets and promoted those while he was on our show. And folks, if you didn't move, you are out of luck. Early bird tickets for the 2026 tour are already sold out for SFO, Big Easy, and Queen City Classic. This brings in a newer event and 2 brand new events or returning events to Queen City, in Queen City to the tour. They are in disc golf hubs. People are excited about it. They're in good locations. It makes sense that these are the early bird tickets that sold. But
yeah,
they're gone. And I think, man, does that bode well for the tour?
That's going to be a hype tournament.
Yeah,
I'm juiced. Seeing they've got these crazy trees with the big wide roots, and
I love that.
Seeing somebody sent a picture from playing in our Discord from playing at Parc des Familles. It looks amazing. Grass in the fairways, wide woods fairways, classic John Houck stuff.
Man,
it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be so good.
And New Orleans is so awesome. I'm looking forward to that a lot. All right, that's gonna do it for our show for this week. We're only gonna do one show because DGLO starts tomorrow, so time to lock in for a 4-day DGPT Plus. We'll be back with you Sunday to reacts for subscribers. So head over to discgolf.ultiworld.com/subscribe. Join the Discord. Get the live reacts in your podcast feed and live in the Discord every single tournament. All right. For Josh Mansfield, I'm Charlie Eisenhood saying so long. We'll talk to you next week right here on The Upshot.